This is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network, now in its 7th year. Talk like you've never heard it before.
Bennett. That's my name in red. And this is the Ramble. That's in white. We'll be here until midnight tonight. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Larry Bubbles Brown. Take it, Larry. I talk too much.
Yes, you got it, Alex.
When we do these things, I feel guilty in that I call you and then I talk.
No, I'd rather hear you talk. I'm tapped out. So.
You're tapped out?
You've got the best stories. So.
Well, everybody's got great stories if you just try. You know.
We'll all have a great story when we see that mushroom cloud over the horizon.
Yes, when I was a kid, remember? You don't remember this? Maybe you do. After World War II, we had the big Red Menace, which really has never come to fruition until just now. But we had the Red Menace, and every leader in the Soviet Union who was, came into power was the evil guy, Khrushchev, who was a pretty nice guy, actually. And then
Stalin was bad.
Stalin was horrible. Yeah. I mean, here's what happened with Stalin. Did you ever hear about his death?
Yeah, they did a movie about that. It was pretty good.
Yeah, and it was kind of like that. It was like, well, Stalin looks like he had a stroke. It was something like that, right? Shall we go get a doctor? Yeah, I'll go. Do you know anybody who has a car? Well, I don't know. I have a car you could use. Well, no, I don't want to use yours. Anybody else here? And they were taking forever to go get a doctor, because they knew if they didn't, he'd die. So they took their time. When they finally got a doctor there, I think Stalin was dead. Yeah,
they were terrified he wasn't going to die and he's going to kill them all.
Well, I mean, you know what amazes me? How maybe you can explain this to me. How do people like Stalin manage to kowtow, or to, what's the word I'm looking for? Not kowtow, to intimidate so many people, make them so fearful of him?
Well, I think many of these people, like Stalin, I think they're sociopaths, and sociopaths seem to have some ability to intimidate people like that.
But how did he do it? I mean, you got to realize he was intimidating everybody for years.
Oh yeah,
all right.
I think he may have killed more people than Hitler. I think.
Oh yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, if nothing more, just in willing to give up his people for the cause. I mean, Stalingrad alone was how many millions of people died there? And he just let it happen. It needed to happen. We got to fight them there and take a stand and so on. And I'm going, geez, how does a guy like that survive? Were they that afraid of him? And then when he would say to somebody, take him out and shoot him, they would take a guy out and shoot him. Why don't you just say no and turn the gun on Stalin?
Yeah, why wouldn't someone do that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand it. And I mean, people feared him, literally feared him. So anyway, whatever. Stalin, the word Stalin, I think, means Iron Man.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think we should have Stalin played by Robert Downey Jr. In some movie soon. But anyway, so what's happening out there with you in California? I mean, I like to check in and see exactly how my friends are doing.
Well, $5-6 gas. What else? San Francisco, let's see, the Millennium Tower is still leaning a little more. They're still trying to shore that up.
Oh, yeah, there's this building in San Francisco called the Millennium Tower that was built How tall is it? Do you know?
It's probably 40 or 50 stories.
Yeah. Do you know in
San Francisco, that's a tall building.
Well, in San Francisco, that for years when I was growing up there, they couldn't build a building taller than 20 stories. They just couldn't.
Yeah.
There was a law in San Francisco: no building can be taller than 20 stories. Part of the reason was they wanted to maintain the look of the San Francisco hills, which were very famous. Okay, and if you had something taller than 20 stories, it would obliterate the view of the hills. So, anyway, there was a limit to how tall you could make them. Now you got something like 40. I don't know how tall the Millennium Tower is, but they build this building, and what happens? You tell the story. I don't know the complete story.
Yeah, they didn't make the foundation. They're supposed to go down 240 feet. They only went down 80 feet, so doesn't have a good foundation. The building started leaning. I think it's leaning like 18 inches now. Which, on a building, that's huge. So.
Well, if you take a ball bearing, I think, and put it on the floor, doesn't it roll?
Yeah, they had some guy that lived there. The news crew came up. He put the golf ball on the floor, just rolled rapidly to the other side of the room.
Oh God! Oh God!
So you wouldn't want to be. That's also kind of landfill. So if an earthquake hits, I think that place would definitely go down.
Wow! That's something.
Yeah, it's amazing. A lot of famous. Joe Montana's got a place there. It's a really expensive place to live.
Yeah, but I mean, are they shoring it up? Aren't they doing something?
They're trying to shore it up, but that's a really rough job, and
so if they
water's
didn't
leaking into the underground garage, and
if they didn't do anything about it, let's say they didn't do anything about it, would that thing fall eventually?
I think it probably would the way it's going. Yeah.
I mean, but how many years?
They're making estimates now. No one seems to know.
Really?
You wouldn't want to buy a place there, I would say that.
No, I wouldn't. But then again, if you say only rich people can get it, fuck them. You know?
Yeah.
Fuck them. How big?
And you know what they'll do? They'll sue, and the city will wind up paying. So we'll pay for it. That's what will happen.
How big's your apartment?
Mine's. I've got a very small studio.
This very small studio. That means your bed.
Well, the studio actually kind of big,
But I mean, your bed is in the same room with your dining room table.
Yeah, and then I got a couple of big closets and a kitchen.
Some people who had studios would take it and block off the area where the bed was, and then it would kind of seem like it was a one-bedroom apartment. You know,
Almost, yeah.
And how much you pay a month for that?
I'm up to $700.
Oh God, well, you pay $200 more than I do.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
Now are you finally settled on that?
They're supposedly sending us the lease for $500. Yeah, but but when they go into appeal, if they appeal it, and the appeals judge decides that it has to be $22.25, or maybe $8.50 is another possibility, we have to pay the difference later on down the line, retroactively. All right.
Oh.
Yeah, which I'll live with that, because I'd give the landlord the money now, okay. But if he loses, I don't trust him to give us the money back.
Right.
All right. Because then he'd have to pay us the difference between $22.25 and $500. You know. So anyway, the thing just, it's like it went on for like 9 years, and you thought it was over. When I walked out of the courtroom that day, they said, we made a deal. Part of it I didn't like because we had to pay the guy who lived here $75,000. But we figured that was rent for the years, and, what the hell. If it shuts him up and gets him off the grid, fine. But we had to do that. And we thought, but we walked out, we felt it was all settled and everything like that. No way. All of a sudden, time to make up a lease for us. They want to charge us $22.25, and The deal we made in the courtroom was as follows. And everybody agreed to it and testified to the judge that they agreed with the deal. And that was, I give this guy $75,000, he gets out of the way. And then, so far as the lease is concerned, we would pay $2,225 a month, unless the rent commission came out with a lower price, or the judge decided on a lower price. Then it would have to be at that lower price. So the judge comes out with his verdict, and he says that apartment should be leased for $500.
Wow.
Because the people, the landlords, did not do due diligence. They didn't, they kept raising the price all wrong and things like that. And so I'm telling you that it now can only be rented for $500. Well, that means we should have a lease in for $500. And for a while, the landlord was saying, nope, not going to give it to you for $500. Well, he had to. So finally, they gave up and gave it to us. And supposedly, we're getting a lease in the next couple of days for $500 a month.
That's amazing.
Well, and it'd be nice if the appeal fails, which it well might. I think there's a good chance it could. Then we have an apartment for the rest of our lives at $500 a month, maybe with raises every couple of years, but so it goes up to $525, I mean, but that's where we stood. But it was just so frustrating that after all of it, and walking out and saying, okay, we made a deal, we're out of here, okay, that we then still had to have problems with the landlord in getting the money out of them. So that's our story. We've had to live with this so long.
It's one of the longest legal battles I've ever heard of.
Well, there have been longer, I think. But this thing is well on to, this is 9 years. Yeah, easily. We moved in 2010, 2013, all this went down. Yeah, 2013. So we're 9 years. Wow. Well, anyway, but that's still a good rent for you, $750 a month.
As it goes, yeah, it's probably a couple of grand under market rate. So.
Yeah, but now during COVID, you didn't go out, right?
I went outside.
Yeah.
There was nothing to do, but I did go out.
Yeah, because you had to get out of that apartment. You couldn't stay.
Oh, yeah, I go crazy to live in this dump,
See, we stayed in here for the better part of a year, but we've got 2,500 square
space.
feet. Yeah, 2,500 square feet.
That's bigger than most homes.
You're absolutely right. And in fact, these were homes on top of each other. That was the concept. All right? And this place has, I think we counted it at 11 rooms. You see,
you got to put some pictures of it. I'd love to see it.
I do have some somewhere online. We have a foyer. Okay, how many apartments have a foyer? We have a foyer. That's one room. Then we have the living room with a fireplace. Then we have a dining room on the other side of it with another fireplace. Then we have a huge kitchen. And to the side of the kitchen is a pantry, which was also the maid's room in the old days. And then a bathroom, a small half bathroom. All right? I don't know how many rooms we're up to already. Then we got a long hallway, and off the hallway is a bedroom. And then another bedroom at the end of the hallway, which we call the guest room. And then over to the side, there's yet another bedroom, which we call the office, which I'm in right now talking to you. And then there's another big bathroom. Not huge, but big bathroom. That's our apartment.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah, well, it's a lot of breathing room here, And when people say, do you go out often? Why? You know, today it's how many degrees? It's 45 degrees out there. It's not bad. But you know, what's out there to do? You know. Oh, but it's New York. Yeah. Nothing goes on in New York. Truth of the matter is, the city who wouldn't sleep is always drowsy. Okay, so.
What's the nearest store near you?
Nearest what? Supermarket?
Anything, yeah.
They just opened up one that's a German-owned supermarket called Lidl, L-I-D-L, and they claim that they have the lowest prices on produce, and they do. It's amazing, and the produce is terrific. So that's our big deal. That's the big new store that we have. The rest of them are just, you know, supermarkets have been here for years, and they're kind of, some of them are good, some of them have been forced to get better. You know, when the neighborhood was just basically blacks living here and a slum of a neighborhood, you know, these supermarkets were, but as the gentrification of Harlem took place, so does the so do the supermarkets. You know, so I felt really good about that. So, you know, but that's it. And then we're getting some nice restaurants in this area. So now I know where you live. Where exactly?
Down towards the marina. Yeah, I'm in the marina. Actually.
You're in the marina, but you're where? On what side of Lombard?
On the north side of Lombard.
On the north side of Lombard. Okay. So, so wait a minute. So you're closer to the marina than you are to the hills.
Yeah, I'm about 4 blocks from the Marina Safeway.
Right. Yeah, see, because I never went over to your place, and then again, I don't know anybody who has.
No one comes here. No.
I mean, I always thought of you, Larry, as somebody who was like collapsible. That you would come on, you would either do my show or you would do a comedy show somewhere, and then they would fold you up and put you somewhere. And I never figured out. Maybe it's because I had a certain selfish streak in me that didn't care where the fuck you lived. You know? But I knew you lived in my neighborhood.
Yes, in fact, I had a gig at the Palace of Fine Arts in November, and I remember I walked by your old place. So.
Yeah. How you know, how long have you lived in that apartment?
It's 85.
Wow, that's 85, 95.
Yeah, God, that's so long. Jesus, it's coming up on 40 years. God.
It's almost at 40 years that you've been in that apartment.
Sad, isn't it?
Okay, so the question is, how much did it cost you when you first moved in there?
When I first moved, it was $250.
$250. That was pretty high.
It was. Back then, you could find studios in San Francisco for $175 in worse neighborhoods back then.
Yeah, but you felt
then it all changed.
And what has kept you in that apartment? I mean, why haven't you moved? I mean, the tendency would be for me, if I were in a studio, was, well, times are a little better. I think I'll move into a better apartment.
Yeah, I just my fear of change, I guess, kept me here, even though I hate this place. But yeah, I would definitely like to have more room. And
you probably wouldn't know what to do with it now.
I know. I could stay in all day for not be depressed.
Now the big news is that you're getting a new phone.
I am. I did actually. Yeah, I got a new flip phone.
They sent you a flip phone?
I went down to Sprint and I said they offered me a Samsung something
smartphone, right?
Yeah, and I said I want a flip phone, and the guy said, "Do we have any of those here?" And somebody went in the back, and 20 minutes came out later. Hey, we got one left, and I took it.
So it's not a smartphone.
No.
I was hoping you would get a smartphone, damn it.
Well, they showed me the Samsung, and I just said, I'll never learn how to use that.
Oh, come on. Come on. You're not a moron.
Yeah, I am. I think I am. My IQ, as you get older, your age goes up, IQ goes down.
Well, no, but think of, you do text, don't you?
I do text.
How do you text? Tell them how you text.
You have to hit each button, 1 to 3 times, depending on the letter you're searching for.
Don't you realize that if you got yourself one of these more modern phones, it would just have a little keyboard there and you could just type it out?
Or some you can just talk and say what you want to text, right?
Yes, you can do that too.
That would be less tedious.
So why didn't you get that phone?
Oh, I just figured I wouldn't be able to. The phone would just be a pain in the ass to use.
What do you mean pain in the ass? It's like any other phone. You just bring up the dialing pad and you dial the number. That's it.
I just saw all those apps and icons.
Well, no,
mind glazed over when I saw that thing.
Well, here's the thing. You got all those apps, okay, and they're wonderful, but forget it. If you want a phone that's going to make a call, the other phone, the one you didn't take, would do it easier and better. Plus, you would have all the numbers that you call in there, and you would just be able to go through your phone book and just push a button, push on the name, and it would dial it for you.
Yeah, I can remember the numbers.
Okay, but I'm telling you, your life would be better right now if you had not gotten another flip phone. Wait a minute, do they even have a flip phone that's like 4G or whatever?
I think it's 5G. I don't know. I think I just needed that. Someone said if I only used the phone, I wouldn't have needed the 5G. But because I do text, I guess the data goes over that, and that's why it comes into play.
And you still have to hit 3 times to get a letter.
Yeah. Oh, crazy.
I remember those days, but that was long ago.
I know.
So I just didn't realize they still made flip phones that would be like 5G. I mean, I would have thought if you wanted a flip phone, they just weren't there to be found. Or at least one that was a 5G phone.
Yeah, well, they said that a few old people, which I am now, but they said, just people like you want these things. We still have a couple.
Old timer.
Yeah.
Did they look at you kind of strange? They kind of, Did they try to convince you that you'd be better off with a?
Well, no, because I know I have one of my friends actually works there. You know him, Larry Stahl. He works there.
Yeah. And Larry let you do this?
He did grudgingly. He just thought it'd be better if I took the Samsung. I mean, he'll be able to learn it, and I said, no, I won't.
I'm sorry, Larry. You're really incorrigible.
I know.
Oh, well. Okay. Well, audience, all you'll ever see is this picture of Larry and some bubbles going around and his name with the audio, because he didn't go out and get the new phone that they were offering him, which would have allowed you to see his face. Well, you don't want anybody to do that, do you?
No, and then I'd have to set the phone. And I'm sure that would have been easy for me to set that up, and I'd get frustrated. And when I get frustrated, I tend to break things. Mechanical things I do. Yeah, I throw them against the wall.
I think this is the thing we love about you. Anyway, listen, take care of yourself. Be safe. The COVID's pretty much gone right there.
Well, they're acting like it's over, so I guess it is, right?
Yeah. You probably don't have to wear a mask into restaurants any longer.
Those are gone. Yeah, we're done with that.
I don't think you really have to wear them outside, because they found out after a while that it wasn't really spread much outside.
No, you never needed them outside.
Yeah. So, look at it this way. We dodged a goddamn bullet, man.
I guess so, yeah.
We had a gun aimed at us, and
we somehow survived it. Good talking to you, Larry.
You too, Alex.
Okay, bye-bye.
See you next week.
This is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network, now in its 7th year. Talk like you've never heard it before.
Okay, everybody, listen, I'm going to have to stop here and restart the whole system. Okay, I have to restart the whole system because we got all screwed up here. And I want to unscrew it. Okay, so we'll be back in just a minute or so. Okay, bye-bye.
This is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network, now in its 7th year. Talk like you've never heard it before.
Hey, it says Alex. It says the Ramble. That's me. We're going until midnight tonight in what is a kind of truncated portion of our program because I had to start the whole thing up again because, well, old Al screwed up. Okay? Old Al screwed up. What can I say? Okay? Let me see here. Are we going out okay? Let me just check everything here. Are we going to yeah, there we go. Yeah, it looks like we're out there. We're going somehow. Who knows? All right. I'll have to fix this up tonight when I do it in post. You won't hear if a lot of people are watching now this version of it. This is a recording of a show that we did after we did the interview with Larry Bubbles Brown, so you won't see the Larry Bubbles Brown interview tonight, okay? Oh, well. And I've got my glasses I've got to clean, otherwise I can't see anything, and we're trying to get things going here. Again tonight we have, I'm sure, a big problem with the what do you call it? The Final Four. What is that? I don't know. What is it? The Final Five, the Final Seven, the Final Eight, the Final 10. I don't know. But last night we had hardly any people calling because they were all watching the games, I suppose. I imagine. But anyway, so here we go. Anyway, I'm so sorry that we have that problem tonight, but those things happen, and they could happen more tonight. We have no idea what the other problems are tonight. But anyway, let's bring everybody in here. Oh, somebody had to leave. Let me see here. We lost, we got Alan, and we've got Jeff, and Ray was here, but Ray's now gone, so we'll just have to deal with that. Oh man, I screwed with something before I went back on, and we had to stop it all. Okay, all right. Anyway, here comes Ray. All righty. Hello to all of you. How are you this evening? These are the these are the people who don't give a crap about basketball, right?
Nope. This is more important than any basketball game.
Well, I don't necessarily agree with you on that one, but
I thought you didn't like sports.
I don't.
Oh.
No, I don't like sports. I mean, look, it's not that I don't like sports. There's just certain sports I like because I consider them, I like sports which are endeavors of execution. You know what I'm saying? In other words, it isn't just that you got to be the toughest, the brawniest, the fastest or whatever. You're really the person you're probably challenging most of all is yourself to best your record. And so I like the Olympics for that reason. In the
Darts.
Olympic sports. What?
Darts.
Darts. I had a girlfriend who was into darts. She was darts crazy. So darts crazy you would have thought she was Irish. But she would go play darts all the time. and she was, oh God, she was crazy over it.
Well, you have a sports Emmy, right?
I have a sports Emmy, yeah.
So you're a sportsman.
Well, I have 2 Emmys, and one is an individual Emmy, and the other one is a group Emmy. All right, for a bunch of us who participated in a program. So that's the sports Emmy. So that is not necessarily an Emmy for me alone. All right, but the other one is. So that one I'm proud of. That one I would lay claim to, and screw the rest of you. Here comes John Larkin. We haven't seen John in a while. John, where you been?
Proud of. That one I would lay claim to.
Oh, wait a minute.
For the rest of you.
John, you got to kill my audio.
Hi.
Hey, there you go.
How's it going?
So where you been? We haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah. Nowhere really. Just doing a lot. I've been working at night.
You've been working at night?
Yeah, a lot of concerts at the Warfield.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Seen any good concerts lately?
Sparks was good.
Sparks, what? That's an old band, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. I know.
Goes back to when I was at the Quake.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm trying to remember up there. I'm trying to remember what their big hit was.
This town isn't big enough for the both of us.
No. There's another one. There's another one that was really big for them, for Sparks. How many people here have heard of Sparks? See?
Not me.
One of the most unknown bands of all time. So
in that documentary on Netflix, there's a picture of them standing outside your studio on 9th Street.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really?
And it says, there's a sign in the background. It says, no one will be allowed into Alex's show before 6 a.m.
What documentary was that?
It's on Netflix. It's called Sparks Brothers.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, well.
I told you about a month ago about it.
On Netflix, called Sparks Brothers?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Well, then I'll have to go look at it because anything has my name on it, I'm interested in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I'm self-centered, and that's the reason.
I guess they were a guest on your show back in the 80s or something.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I guess they were. I don't remember. I was that whole period of time kind of is a blur to me now. It's not a blur because of drugs or anything else. It just is a blur.
It's a long time ago.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes people say to me, "And I was on your show," and blah 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 blah. Like I met up with Black. Oh boy, who's the comedian? Black. First name was
Louis Black.
Louis Black. And I said, Louis, gee, good to meet you. He says, oh, well, you have before. I said, when? He said, in San Francisco, on your show. I was a guest. I said, gee, I don't remember. He says, neither does anybody else, because back then I didn't have an act that anybody wanted to see.
No way. Yeah, a lot of good people come on.
No, but he said that
okay.
Back then, okay? Yeah. And what he was referring to was the fact that he wasn't screaming and yelling in those days. He wasn't that. He didn't. And once he came up with that screaming thing, he became famous. Okay, so he said at that time I wasn't that famous or that well known, but you had me on your show, and I want to thank you for that. So that was years later though that I finally met up with him and got along with him very well. I like Louis a lot. So.
He's hilarious.
Yeah. Yep. He certainly is.
John, Los Lobos plays at the Warfield a lot, huh?
No, not too much. I've seen them more at the Fillmore.
I mean the Fillmore. Sorry, yeah. Fillmore. I went and saw him at the Fillmore a couple times recently.
Yeah.
But who else was playing there that you saw recently?
Well, last night they had this guy named Youngblood, who's a trans singer from England, kind of a punk singer.
Mm-hmm.
So they had a lot of trans, young kids, trans kids.
Yeah,
it was pretty good. Yeah, he was interesting. And then there was Jason Albean played. Something weird. I never get tipped at a show, for showing people to their seats.
Yeah.
But at this Jason Albean show, 2 people tipped me in the night, so I got $30 in tips in one night.
Really?
And I never ever get tips, but it was just at that show. 2 people.
Well, for people who are watching, you're an usher at concerts, right? You take people, help people to their seat and find their seat and whatever, right?
Right.
You look at the stub, you see what the number is on it, you lead them to that seat. Should you get a tip? I mean, people don't think you give tips to those guys.
Not necessarily. Yeah, it's not necessary. I don't expect one. You know?
But maybe people should tip you.
But it's just weird. The same show, I get 2 tips, but I've rarely ever gotten a tip there before.
What do you think it was about his audience that was so tippable?
I don't know. I have no idea. It's just, you know, what are the odds? You know.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so how you doing, Josh?
Doing good.
Yeah. What's
on, anything?
What's up in your life? Anything interesting or special?
Nothing interesting. Just normal days, I guess.
Just normal days, right?
Yeah. Nothing going on out of the ordinary.
Yeah. And how about you, Alan? Anything?
I was going to go to Las Vegas in a couple of weeks, but my toe surgery is not healing as well. They removed part of a toenail because it was ingrown, and you know, when you get older and you're fat, you know, you just don't heal so quick. So it sounds like Las Vegas is off. It'll be there.
And how about you, Alan? Anything?
All right, Brian's there, but Brian's doing a Jeff on us.
Yeah, so are you. Nobody, Alex, nobody can see you. I mean, everybody can see you only.
I got so flummoxed on this whole thing that I forgot to do this. There we go. There's
okay, good night. I did my work. I'll see you guys Monday.
Oh, you got to go?
No, just joking.
Oh,
I'm just trying to figure out what the heck's going on.
Turn on your camera, I guess.
Yeah.
There you go.
Brian, yeah.
Hey, I'm sorry, folks, because I screwed up tonight, and then when I came back, I didn't look to see that I wasn't
Marcus.
on.
There we go.
Yeah.
Go Giants.
Yeah. They're losing 4-0, but it's okay.
But anyway, I think the show Be Better is just an audio-only show anyway, so I'm glad that we were able to let you hear it that way for a while.
Yeah.
I just been screwing up tonight. I'm just bothered by stuff. I got this guy's coming tomorrow to pick up all this stuff from the apartment, and there's arguments about what he can take and what he can't take, and you know, I'm just so fed up with it. I'm ready to tell him, go sue us to get in. You know. So finally, I did. There was a rule that anything that was adhered to a wall, like a light sconce or something like that, he couldn't take. And so he tried to charge Marjorie for 2 ceiling fans we have in the kitchen. And I said afterwards, after I looked at it, Marjorie said she'd pay $100 each for them. I said, you know, we don't have to pay for those because those are in a wall, right? And then I went back and I looked at the court proceedings, and there was an argument over the ceiling fans. So I took $200 away from him and said, you can't have those, and he didn't argue about it. And then I suddenly noticed that actually in the proceedings it said we would negotiate about them. So I told Marjorie to give him back $200. So, you know.
He probably didn't even install them. The tenant before him probably installed them.
No, he installed these for sure. You know, and, I mean, he could take them, but then I just got to go buy 2 new ones and pay my super to install them. But, you know, I'll have to go like half a week without lights in the kitchen. So, you know, I'd rather have them than not have them. But, I mean, he's just being a pain in the ass about most of this. So and then I suddenly realized something. He owes us $4,200. It's a little thing called a security deposit. So I want that money back. Fat chance. What?
Doesn't your new landlord have to collect that?
He collected $500. $500.04 as a security deposit.
Oh wow! You should get back the $4,200 then.
Huh?
You should get back the $4,200.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, I fully expect the
When
4,200.
the guy comes tomorrow to collect all his stuff, say, I need my $4,200, and then you can have your stuff.
Well, here's the thing. He owes us 4,200. My question is, does he owe us $4,200 plus interest?
Yeah.
Depends on where you're at. Around here, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I believe so. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I own rental property here in the Bay Area and also in Oregon, but in Oregon they don't do it. But in California, you have to pay interest. It's not much. It's 2 or 3%, but it is money.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's something. You know.
After the show tonight, go on the internet and see what New York City requires.
Yeah. Yeah. So but anyway, so I've been bothered.
Maybe you'll get a couple free ceiling fans.
I've been bothered and preoccupied about that tonight, so that's why you just saw me for so long, and I didn't even notice that I was on. Because what happens is I also look at the Zoom panel. I don't look at what's on the air, and I just assumed I'd gone over there or something, and I didn't. So.
I see Tony yawning. I mean, the coffee I sent you isn't working. What's going on?
You didn't tell him. You didn't tell him it's non-caffeinated.
Oh, no.
You were supposed to shut up about that, Alex.
Oh,
Is it?
didn't you know?
I just poured it into my. I saved the. You know the big things at Costco. When I finish the Folgers, I save it. Now I poured his coffee into it. I marked it though, so I know what it is.
Have
Yeah,
you
but
tried
that's-
it yet?
Coffee tonight.
But that's non-caffeinated.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't try it yet. I was gonna have it tomorrow when I was watching Kentucky.
It'll still taste the same. Don't worry.
Yeah. No, you won't be able to tell the difference.
You don't think so?
The only
I-
difference you won't find with it is that you won't feel it.
You won't be climbing the walls.
Oh, it's not my coffee rush.
You see, that's what he's going for.
Well, try it out. There's still a little caffeine in decaf.
Tony, I would never think about doing drugs.
I'm gonna do my mother's leftover drugs. I was gonna throw them out.
What kind of
I gotta go drug.
what drugs does she have there? You know?
She has the one that. What's the one that takes the edge off? She was getting like.
There are a lot of them that take the edge off.
Yeah, really. Valium?
No, it was something else really, really small.
Pregabalin? Alex likes
she
that.
gets freaky. One time I gave it to her and I was watching. It's very mild, like a sedative. And when I gave it to her one time, I was observing her, and she really did get like relaxed.
Is it
And I heard her
Librium?
say, what did she give me? And he says, "Mom, Dr. Rubin said it's okay to take one." It made her go to
Ativan?
sleep a little bit
Was
faster.
it Librium?
I can check. Let me see.
Go get all her drugs and bring them back. Let's see what you
we
got
might,
there.
we might want some of them.
Because you know they do expire, so why don't you just send them over to me? Okay, he's gone now. You know. How are you doing tonight, Jeff?
Good.
Good.
Went to see my new orthopedic doctor.
Oh, good. And how does he feel your orthopeds are doing?
She said,
This is all that's left of Mom. Her bills.
Wait a minute,
She
hold on.
said
We'll go through them in a
nothing-
second. Hold on. Yes, Jeff?
she says, there's nothing that I can do to help you. However,
Wow. That's
here's
incredible.
the things that you can do to help yourself.
And so what did she tell you had to do?
Oh, mostly walking and exercise and stuff like
Yeah. Okay, that's nice.
I need to do more of that too. I'll come over. We'll do some walks together in Connecticut.
I took
There
my
you go.
first. I took my first walk today since I fell. Yeah, and I was kind of afraid to, you know. But Marjorie came with me, so in case I fell, she could pick me up. And we did it twice. We also went out to dinner tonight. So
Oh, nice.
yeah, so it was nice.
It was nice out there. It was actually a little hot.
Yeah, very nice day today, actually.
Tell us about the drugs, Tony.
Yeah, Tony, what do we have there? Pull one out. There.
Let's see. This was, I'm trying to pronounce it. 120 milligrams. Take one capsule by mouth daily. Dilatia? D-I-L-T-I-A.
Dilaudin?
The lot.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. What does that do?
Oh boy, send that over to me, okay?
Yeah, Alex would like that. That'll help.
Dilaudin is a kind of form of synthetic heroin, isn't it? If I'm not mistaken.
Is it called Dilaudin?
No, Dilaudin.
D-I-L-T-I-A-Z-E-M. 120 milligrams.
Oh, wait a minute. What is that again? D-I what?
D-I-L-T-I-A-Z-E-M.
Dilazepam.
Diazepam?
No.
Yeah.
That is Valium.
Valium.
Yeah, diazepam is the generic name for Valium. Valium's the name brand.
Yeah. Okay. Next drug.
All right. Next drug was one of her favorites, the old low dose Bayer.
Oh, just throw that away.
Okay. That was because she had to take it every day. I had everything lined up.
Yeah. Right.
Eliquis.
What?
Eliquis.
Eliquis is what? Is that a cancer drug? What is it?
Well, she was recovering from cancer, so.
Okay, so it's probably Eliquis. Is a cancer.
Yeah, it was helping her.
That's probably the most expensive one so far. Go ahead.
Got a whole bottle with somebody's name on it.
I think Eliquis, I think, is a blood thinner.
Blood thinner? Is it really? Okay.
I got 20 milligrams of Atorvastatin, Atorvastatin.
Difaxin?
Yeah.
Difaxin?
Yeah, I think so. No, Atorvastatin.
Atorvastatin. Oh,
that's for it's a statin.
Yeah, it's a statin.
Yeah,
it's for your cholesterol.
Lipitor's the name brand.
Yeah, that's what I
It's a
take.
good thing I know something about drugs.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, that's the most common anti-cholesterol drug.
I take it.
Me too.
And then she had 25 milligrams of Carvedil, Carvedil.
Blood pressure medicine.
Yeah, she had a little slight high blood pressure. That didn't do her in though.
Okay. All right. Next one.
Keep going. Let's get to the.
Actually, that's it. I don't know what happened to the other pills. I gotta check.
Well, the Valium
I threw some out.
No, you don't have to go look for them.
No,
I know how this brings back fond memories of your mother dropping pills.
I still have a case Monday to Sunday. There's nothing in it though.
So the Tony, the diazepam, right before you're gonna get wired, you want to take one of those. It'll make the high a lot better.
I gotta throw these. I gotta walk you down the toilet bowl.
Well, no, but don't do that.
Don't do that.
I won't throw them in the garbage because I'm telling you, these Chinese people, they go for the bottles.
There's some drug addict out there who really could use those.
That's
I
right.
gotta take all his names off it though. I'll get arrested.
I'll tell you what happened to me today. Today we're walking down the street. And we're coming back to the apartment, and on the way we pass, I don't know, a store or something, and there's some guy out front, obviously not.
Yeah, they usually sleep in my garden.
I'm telling a story.
Oh, sorry.
Obviously not. The guy's not. He's not too well off. He's got problems. He's poor, and he says something to me that really made a lot of sense. He said. And Marjorie said to me, "What did he just say?" I said, "I don't think there was a word of English in his entire sentence."
I think he said, "How do I get on the intersection tonight?"
Well, anyway, just talk like that. Anyway, then tonight as we're going to dinner, we meet up with another guy on the street who, as we pass by him, goes, change? And she said, what did he say? I said, well, he said one word I understood, change. I said, we should really start a new group, which is like...
communication?
Well, no, articulation classes for mendicants. Guys are out in the street begging. Give them a good English skills so they can then better tell you what drug and what money they want. But if they just go, never going to change, I mean, come on.
He's not going to make anything.
I want to know, does he want me to change? Does he want change? Does he want money? What does he want? So I think we should have like a class for what we call mendicants. Anybody know that term? I've known that term for years.
No.
A mendicant is a guy who begs, a person who begs. Yeah. Anyway, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. And Brian Neary, you're fine, I'm sure. And Josh, what did you think of Biden talking to the premier today of China?
Oh, I didn't hear that he did. I'm sorry.
Oh, well, and then we don't need to talk about it.
I'm sure it was really tough talk. If you break any rules, we'll, not do anything. So
Yeah.
I'm not breaking the rule.
Typical stuff. If you back up Russia, we won't do anything. We'll be upset with you.
Yeah, neener, I think was one of the terms he used. Actually, it wasn't. The premier of China accused us of causing this problem in Ukraine.
Oh, well.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, but the president of China has said that, you know, Putin's wrong by killing all these civilians. It was in the news a week or so ago.
Yeah, well, he did say that nobody's winning in this.
Something like that, yeah.
You know, I think he didn't want to throw Putin to the wolves because Putin's is an associate,
a trading partner.
On the other hand, he didn't want to go along with him and say this was wonderful because it clearly isn't. You know, I mean, the only person in the world who thinks it's okay is probably Rand Paul.
Yeah.
Every day they say, now they're 20 miles from Kyiv. Now they're 9 miles from Kyiv. Now they're 2 miles from Kyiv. That's every night. It's like a countdown, and I don't know the last few nights what they've been saying. But I've been staying away from it.
Yeah. No, I agree. You're quite right.
What is stopping him from bombing Kyiv?
Who?
Putin. He bombs everywhere else in the Ukraine. What's stopping him from hitting the capital?
I don't know, to tell you the damn truth.
I mean, it seems strange that they haven't had a big barrage of missiles going in. And
I think that they would do it if they felt they could then take Kyiv. But supposedly his troops aren't doing that well. You know, those trucks ain't moving.
Well, we're supplying them with missiles, and they're shooting planes, helicopters, and missiles that are coming off the planes out of the sky from the ground.
Yeah.
I don't think he planned on all this.
Oddly enough, it doesn't look that good, but actually, I think Ukraine is doing pretty good.
I think so too.
Yeah,
they are.
But what's it going to take to get Putin to give up? Did you see today he had a big rally in?
Like he's taking the Trump idea. You know.
Yeah, it was a Trump-style rally. You know.
Yeah, so for those people who don't have a choice, they have to go to that. You know?
Well, I mean, look,
they're
he obviously could fill that place, and the way he could fill that place is that people in Russia right now have a complete absence of any legitimate news.
Yeah.
They're being fed one story and one story only. And that's the story that is being spread all over Russia, and they believe this to be the truth. So you can get that many people there who believe that Putin's doing a wonderful thing. He's doing God's work. He's going after the Nazis who have taken over, taken over Ukraine.
Yeah. Some people know what's going on because there was something in business news the other day that the top 5 VPNs have been downloaded many more times in Russia than they ever have been. So these people are downloading VPNs, virtual private networks for you people that don't know what it is. And that allows them to get to news and Facebook and stuff around Russia.
Well, they can probably watch this show if they want to. You know, using a VPN. They can't I think, has YouTube been banned in Russia? I don't think so. I think that's
so.
Huh?
I think so.
It has. All of them have been banned.
I seem to have read that YouTube wasn't. That it was the only one that wasn't. Facebook,
It's not
Twitter,
been banned, but it's being censored.
It's being monitored.
So in other words, they are allowing access to videos that they deem helpful to their cause and not allowing access to ones that
So in other words, the Tucker Carlson show goes right on.
Of course.
On YouTube.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, him and Hannity, they show him over there.
No.
Hey, I got a question, Alex. If you had the opportunity to interview Trump on this show, would you do it?
I suppose I would, yeah. But I would only do it if he agreed to a no-holds-barred interview, and that he knew that he was advised in the beginning where I stand on him,
Yeah.
Because I don't like to, blindside somebody.
Yeah, right, yeah.
So I would want him to know where I stood. And then if he still wanted to come on and he didn't mind defending himself against somebody who disagreed with him, I'd sure be happy to have him on.
Well, I mean, some of the shows that he's going on now is, like the what was that show, the Felk Brothers or something like that?
The what?
Yeah, it was some YouTube podcast called the Felk Brothers. I mean, where else can he go?
Well, I don't think he would come anywhere where he knew there would be a hostile reception.
Yeah.
And while I wouldn't be hostile to him, I would certainly, let's see, would I call him a douchebag?
Probably. No longer the president. You call him what you want.
Ex-president douchebag.
Yeah. It is funny because most people don't they still like say former president, Obama. When they talk about Trump, they just say Donald Trump. So.
No, it's not even that. If you meet up with Obama, you refer to him as Mr. President. I mean, I interviewed Jimmy Carter. I referred to him as Mr. President. Yeah. Because you still refer to him as Mr. President, or if it's a guy who was a governor of a state, Mr. Governor. Mm-hmm. It's still Governor Schwarzenegger.
Speaking of governors, isn't Cuomo making a comeback?
Yeah, he's got ads on here in New York now, in which he's saying, found innocent of this, and not found guilty, and wasn't prosecuted for this, and now all charges have been removed, and you ought to think about Cuomo for something. Basically,
and Chris Cuomo's suing for like $125 million or something.
Yep. He's claiming that the part of it is the money they owe him. He considers, and the rest of it is what he considers damages to his reputation.
Wow!
Is Cuomo gonna? If you bring Cuomo back, is he gonna shut down New York again in a couple weeks when COVID goes back up?
Well, he's not going to be governor that fast. I don't know. We don't know if he's going to run for governor. We think he's going to run for attorney general.
That would be nice.
This is Andrew or Chris?
Andrew.
Andrew. Former governor.
So Chris threw his friend Don Lemon under the bus.
Really?
What did he do exactly? I didn't understand what went on.
He started saying that there's the things that. So when Don Lemon had tipped off, who's the guy who did the fake mugging, the black?
Oh
actor?
Yeah,
Sillett or Smollett or something.
Yeah.
Jesse Smollett.
Jesse Smollett.
Yeah.
So he tipped him off and told him what was going on with the cops when he found out before Jesse Smollett knew.
So who told him that?
Don Lemon.
Don Lemon
told Jesse Smollett, and so Cuomo brought that to court, saying, "Look, he did the same thing, and he's
no,
still
he didn't
there."
do the same thing. He did worse.
He did worse, yeah.
Yeah, what he was doing is he was giving privileged information to Smollett about the possibility of an arrest, which he could then run out of town or do whatever he wanted to do. Whereas with the case of Chris Cuomo, all he was doing was advising his brother on how to parse the charges against him. In other words, how to handle the public on this.
He got screwed.
Yeah, and that was all he did. And there was a difference also. Jesse Smollett is not the brother of Don Lemon, whereas Chris Cuomo is the brother of Andrew Cuomo, and I think maybe that's something you want to do for your brother, right?
Yeah.
You're an expert on it. You want to help him.
And that wasn't the only thing. There was another thing that Don Lemon did. I don't remember what it was that Chris told the judge about.
Cheated on Chris? No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I would say that
I love you, brother.
I would say Don Lemon should have been kicked to the curb when they found that information out.
I agree.
I don't know if I used to watch that for a couple of years, like almost every night. And Don Lemon looks like he's aged a lot just lately. He's got a lot. I don't know if they're putting different makeup on him, but you see a lot of wrinkles and wrinkles down in his chin. Weird.
Well, he's tired. He has like a kid now.
Yeah, well,
unlike myself, who is just in perfect shape.
Real world.
not a what do you call it, kid? He's gay, right?
Yeah, but they adopted or something.
Okay.
Or somebody had the kid for him. I don't know.
Who Don Lemon is gay.
Yeah. Him and his husband.
Well, so is Smollett. So is Smollett.
Right.
Right.
So that may.
So
have
it's
been,
the Brotherhood.
Don Lemon has a job still. Smith.
Yeah, well, that
Yeah.
if I were CNN, I would question that more than I would ever question Chris Cuomo's. But I think they wanted to get rid of Chris Cuomo because also I think he was goosing some women or something at work. You know.
Those Cuomo brothers.
Yeah, yeah.
And you see what they want to do? My brother says they want to rename the Tappan Zee Bridge, take the father's name off.
Why? What did his father ever do?
You know what I think, Alex? My brother thinks they have it in for him, the Democrats. They want Cuomo out.
Yeah, but I mean, what?
I don't know.
What did his father ever do that was wrong? His father's name should be there. He's one of the best governors this state ever had.
He was great.
Yeah, he has nothing to do with it. It's just like they want to disgrace him. They just want somebody's after the Cuomos. I don't know who it is.
Just about everybody.
You're probably right. Take a number, I guess. Yeah.
The mob.
You know what it is? Everybody's after the Cuomos who want their jobs. Believe it or not. I mean, if you look at who was going after Cuomo, who was it? It was the Attorney General. You know, and it was the governor, right, who wanted his job. So I think he's going after the Attorney General post because he wants to unseat that. Shall we call her a bitch to be nice? Who tried to throw the book at him and then wasn't able to because they couldn't find sufficient evidence that he had done anything wrong.
Maybe he could charge her for slander.
Yeah.
You're talking about Andrew now.
I'm talking about Andrew. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do not mix it up with Chris. Chris is
no,
the
whole
TV
thing.
guy.
The whole thing looks very, very questionable.
Well, you know what went on over at what's been going on over at CNN lately has all been very questionable. I mean, how they got rid of what's his name? The guy who was the head of it, the head of CNN.
Right.
You know, that was terrible. You know, that was terrible. He had to leave because he didn't say he had his girlfriend was working with him. Come on. Yeah. Everybody knew his girlfriend was working with him. They've been together for the last couple of years. You know. They just wanted to get rid of him.
Yeah.
So, are you following any of this, Josh, or any of this interesting you at all?
The CNN story, I mean, I knew about it. I didn't really, I guess I don't say care. I mean, they, I don't know. I mean, all that cable news now is so terrible, some of it, that
it's so awful.
It really matters if they have who they have in there, you know. It doesn't really seem to be changing.
Everybody's reading from the teleprompter nowadays.
Well,
I was watching Al Jazeera news yesterday. It was so good. Yeah. I learned so much about what's going on. This is news.
You know what I watched?
More honest.
You know what I watched today? Today I was watching. We watch the NBC News every night, and I hate Lester Holt. I can't stand Lester Holt.
He's like a doll.
To begin with, have you noticed he's a Negro? Anyway.
Jeez. Oh, you're demonetized.
Oh, now you're in trouble.
Yeah, now you're in trouble.
No, he. I just find him terrible because he's ridiculous. Okay,
I agree.
In that he doesn't know how to interview. All his questions are always off a teleprompter or fed to him.
Definitely.
But tonight I tune in and he's not there. And who's there but Shepard Smith, the old guy from Fox. He was good.
He's awesome. That guy is a journalist.
He was terrific. You know, who did we just?
Lester Holt is a robot.
Didn't he, the guy you were just talking about that was a journalist, didn't he win the Edward R. Murrow Award a number of years ago?
Shepard Smith?
Yeah, for journalism.
I don't know if he did or he didn't, to be honest with you.
I saw Lester Holt interviewing somebody yesterday, a reporter who just been like in a bombing and saw these dead people, and the reporter was practically crying. And Lester Holt had like no emotion or empathy. It was like a robot was asking him questions.
Oh, listen, I was watching Katie Tur, Katie Tur, and she was interviewing some woman in Ukraine, and the woman had just had some terrible tragedy happen to her, and she's crying as she's telling the story, and then Katie Tur says to her, "So how do you feel about this?"
Oh my God.
I mean, she's been crying. How do you feel about this?
You wish the person would say, "How do
I was watching Fox News. I guess it was the day before yesterday, and they had one of their people interviewing some lady. A guy was crying. His mother's laying in the street in Ukraine, dead, and he's crying. And the Fox News reporter goes up and taps him on the shoulder and says, "Can we interview you?" The guy's grieving. I mean, leave the guy alone. Dead mother's laying right there in the middle of this.
That's what these guys do, you know. But when she said to him, I think what she said to the woman was, "So are you feeling bad?" You know, and she's been crying through this whole interview.
I mean, these people are just.
Is that a trick question?
Yeah, I mean, what a stupid question.
Yeah, that is a stupid one.
Maybe in Ukraine, the guy could have, the gal could have said, "Yeah, I'm really upset, and now I'm going to kill you for asking such a stupid question."
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Yeah. Wonder what happened to Jeff Stein? He's not coming back here. So maybe he doesn't know he's off. You know,
push the wrong button.
That's
Be
possible.
nice.
No, I'm serious. You know, sometimes.
Look at who didn't know he was off tonight.
Oh, fuck you.
I know, and I was watching it. And I forgot to tell you. I was sitting here watching the YouTube. I was
And
like,
then you
shit.
came on and you didn't tell me.
I just didn't make the connection. I'm getting old.
Fortunately, we have.
Oh, to hell with you. I'm just going to put
lives in San
myself
Jose
on
that
here.
told
That's
you.
all I'm going to have on screen from the rest of the show. Just me. Okay. No, we'll go back to that.
See how the ratings go.
What ratings?
You got 30 people watching.
Oh, we
wow,
do
30.
now. Oh, there were only 22 a while back. Oh, I guess the games must be over, okay?
Nobody's watching the games.
What do you mean nobody's watching the games? You kidding me?
so.
I've looked at the numbers. They've been really low lately. You know, this
That's
week.
because the Giants are losing.
Yeah, I know. I was watching that. Well, they're trying some pictures, and the brick house was terrible.
Oh, really?
I didn't practice.
Yeah.
It's going to be a struggle, but still love the Giants.
Yeah. Well, are you rooting for somebody?
Tonight, the Giants are playing tonight.
Have you done your brackets?
No, I don't do brackets anymore. But I was rooting for USF last night.
Oh, okay.
San Francisco, University of San Francisco. They have a Ukrainian center, 7'2", and yeah, they just got announced that they were in the tournament, and there's a big story on them that his family went to Latvia though, so they were okay, but yes, pretty dramatic for that team. So
Yeah.
it was a good game, went into overtime.
Yeah. Are you watching it? You're not watching it, are you, Josh? You're not into NCAA, are you?
And the Giants are losing, bottom of the third, and the Cubs are 4-0.
Don't do that. Don't do that. That's against the law.
What?
Giving out scores.
Scores, really?
You know, really, that is the description of a game, technically.
Oh.
Yeah.
But it's on the. Okay,
I don't
never
care.
mind.
I don't care.
I'll follow you. No problem.
Plus,
Your show.
it won't matter once this thing is people are watching this thing because it will already have been over with, so they don't care.
You're
what this.
just pissed that somebody might go and watch the Giants.
You
now.
already said the almost N word though.
What?
You did.
Yeah,
You-
I said
you
Negro. That's when I was growing up, that was the word you said because you were nice.
You know what my grandmother used to say? The coloreds.
Oh yeah, my Italian grandfather.
Hey, how about if I change what I said to the Cubs are winning?
No, my grandfather used to say that the coloreds, and then he always used to. Oh, he used to say the darkies, and then he used to say,
no.
He says, "Why you always go out with slant-eyed girls?" Oh my god!
Wow.
Oh, God.
Slant-eyed girl.
Hey, that's old Ray, right? That's old Italian, right?
Hell yeah.
Tony
the
knows that.
coloreds.
It's the old Italian, just like.
They call like my grandfather used to call Chinese guys Chinamen.
Oh yeah.
They are Chinamen.
I did that one day by accident in San Francisco. I was talking about how when I would every morning when I would drive to the show, I would drive at breakneck speed to get to the station on time, and I would have to go through what's the tunnel, the Montgomery Tunnel,
Stockton.
huh?
Stockton Tunnel.
The Stockton
Mason
Tunnel.
Street?
The Stockton Tunnel.
Stockton. Yeah. Right.
And I'd have to go through Chinatown. And one morning I came in and I said, "Man, it was bad out there. I was having to wipe Chinaman off my windshield with my windshield wiper."
Oh no.
And somebody went, "Chinaman?"
Yeah.
So my grandfather, he played semi-pro ball. So we used to go to the games when he was older. I took him to the Giants games, and we used to take the peanut and you break it open, and the little seed part that's in there, you look and it looks like a little like the Fu Manchu. And so he used to pop those open when I was a kid and say, "Ooh, you see the little Chinaman inside the peanut."
What?
Well,
Next Tony
Next
would
time
have
you
called
open a
Chinese
peanut, when
people.
you take the actual peanut and break it in half, look at the little nut that's there. You'll see the little thing coming down.
Where did he live in the city?
In the city, I forget where he lived in the city. Then he lived up in Hillsborough.
and racism
Oh,
runs rampant on the
David
Ramble
Hillsborough.
tonight. Yeah, yeah.
Oh man, they just had 9 people murdered today in Hillsborough.
What?
Really?
Murder.
Yeah.
Hillsborough, California?
A home invasion robbery where the homeowner had a gun too. And so
Wow.
he killed 2 or 3 of the bad guys, but the other guys killed him, his wife, their daughter, the daughter's best friend, something like that. It was
Yeah, I didn't hear about that.
yeah.
I didn't hear about that.
A guy
Wow.
got shot in the head right on the corner from where I live
Oh
a
my
couple
God.
days ago. But it was like 2:00 in the morning.
At least you're a good aim, John.
First year that we were here on New Year's Eve, somebody was shot at our front gate through the
No
head.
way, really?
Yeah,
In Harlem?
and he lived
Wow.
here. He lived here,
Oh,
but he was a kid who I think was a drug dealer, and so
Yeah.
it was part of a drug thing.
So there's no crime then, right?
Oh, there was a lot of crime here then.
No,
But-
I mean to shoot the drug dealer is no crime.
No, that's just we call
Public
it
service.
You know what we call somebody who gets murdered in Harlem on a Saturday night? Saturday night. You know, that was the joke. But no longer though. This
Shooting
is a
drug
pretty
dealer,
this
it's a public service.
is a pretty safe neighborhood. You know?
Now.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Now.
I was impressed when I saw it. It's nice.
Oh, it's very nice.
And
But-
you're right next to the park, too. which is
Yeah, but if
great.
you come back and see this apartment house during when New Jack City was being made here,
Different story.
okay,
Hmm.
that was a different Harlem back then.
They had to hire New York City police officers to protect the actors and everything when that was going on.
Really? Yeah.
yeah. Alex, when you were talking to Larry, he's going, "Oh, I hate this place." He's living in fucking the marina, and he's only paying $700 a month.
I know.
What?
I'm fucking living in the shithole
Tenderloin.
and I'm paying $1,400.
Well, wait a minute. Who's paying $700 for an apartment in the marina?
Larry Bubbles.
Oh, Bubbles. Yeah,
Yeah,
but he's
Bubbles.
not really in the marina. He's kind of, I think, on the other side of Columbus.
It's pretty. He's right by the marina.
It's a pretty nice area anyhow.
The marina.
Yeah, but he's got a
Safeway.
very small. He's got a very small studio.
Except for he's been there a long time.
He's been
right?
there a long time.
Yeah.
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 Yep, that's why.
But he's paying more than me.
Fucking, I'm paying $1,400 for a piece of shit little studio in the goddamn Tenderloin.
Yeah.
Some of
but
those
you know,
places
it's
in the
your piece of
Tenderloin.
shit.
But how long have you been in that apartment?
It's been about 9 years now.
Really?
Wow.
10 years, yeah.
Some of
Too
those
long.
places in the Tenderloin are nice.
Now, Josh, I never asked you. Do you rent where you are, or do you own your place?
No, we built and own a house.
Oh, you built and own a house.
Nice.
Yeah.
How'd you build it? They bring you the plans by saying, "Here's Plan A, here's Plan B, here's Plan C."
No. I mean, we just went through a construction contractor and
I
picked out
can't
off the-
imagine Josh doing the actual building. I can imagine him sitting there with a beer, watching the builders build the house.
Was that fun to do, or was that anguishing to do?
It was pretty bad, really.
Really? And bad from what standpoint? That everything was a problem?
Pretty much, yeah.
That's too bad.
And every time you turned around, the price kept going up, right?
It's supposed to be less of a headache.
No, I mean, price was locked in, once the contract and everything was signed. They
Yeah.
just a lot of problems.
Yeah.
That's too bad.
But no, we still live here. I'll have it paid for pretty soon.
Yeah. How long you been there?
We've been here. This is, I think, the 16th year. I think.
Oh, okay. So yeah, you should be paid off pretty soon. It takes about 20 years to pay those off.
Well, it was a 30-year, when it was built, but I refinanced a couple years ago and knocked a couple years off of it. So
Yeah.
I think we don't. We're like less than 10 years.
Yeah.
We're not that
So
far away.
you paid all the interest on it. Now it's just pure mortgage, right? I mean, it's just pure
Probably a lot of it by now.
principal.
I don't really look often, but it's probably getting to that point for sure.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean,
Yeah.
when we refinanced, I took a little money out and did some things, but I still knocked multiple years off, and my payment went up. But I didn't care. I mean, I was fine with that. So,
What are houses worth in your neighborhood?
I mean, it just depends. I mean,
Are they all custom like your house?
no. I mean, it's just all over this whole area. I mean, it's average is probably right around 200,000 or whatever. 170 to 200, but it just depends. I mean, you can go to 30 minutes away to Muirfield Village Golf Club, where the PGA Tour plays every year, and there are houses in there for $10 million, so it just depends where all it's at. But, we live, this is a very rural area where I live. So, it's just average homes and everything. It's not a large area, large population or anything like that. So it's not really expensive. I mean, values are good. I mean, I'm sure we could sell ours and make a lot of money or whatever. But I'm just going to wait.
Cool.
Where is it? Where are you?
I live about 30 minutes south of Columbus, Ohio.
Oh, okay.
So just in a rural county that's mostly agricultural, but the large city of Columbus, it creeps closer and closer to here pretty much every year, every day anymore. So what used to be almost nothing, it's just turned into a pain in the ass. So I think maybe when we're done here, we're gonna leave, because I don't do traffic in large cities, and I don't want to live around any of that. I mean,
yeah.
How close is work for you?
What's that?
How close is your work for you?
It takes me about 20 minutes to get in.
So about 7 miles.
No, it's further than that, but
Is it? Okay.
Oh yeah, I would never live in that county. No way.
Yeah.
No, we live in the next county over, but like I said, it's Columbus is huge, and the plant that I work in is in a big industrial and heavily populated area. But I mean, 20 to 25 minutes because of the roads that I can take. But I mean, I don't like big areas, so
Yeah.
when we're done here, I don't know. I'm fine with like Nebraska or Kansas or something. I mean, I don't want to.
Right.
I don't want traffic and traffic lights. I want one gas station where they just sell fucking gas and not fucking cappuccinos or what. I mean, I just
That's it. You got a problem.
Getting too big, man. Too many people living here. All these fucking carpet bagging city people from Columbus. Fucking goddamn people.
Yeah, I can imagine. Anyway, let me see here. What else do we have? Is anything else in the news today? Nah, wasn't much of anything. I'm just
all they ever talk about Ukraine. Pretty much.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and there's only so much you can talk about. I mean, it's just a sad fucking story. I mean, you just never get any relief from it.
Coming back.
What?
We'll be talking about COVID. COVID's coming back.
Oh, it's coming back? Okay, making resurgence, huh? Yeah, they're trying to. It turns out Moderna, Pfizer said they wanted to get an authorization for a fourth shot for people 65 and over, and today Moderna applied for a shot for everybody.
And the FDA will say 60 and older, and the CDC will say 61 and older. Nobody can make up their mind.
Yeah, well, anyway, I mean, the point of the fact is that I'm sure they'll probably okay the Moderna, and as soon as they do that, I'm up the street getting my shot.
I would kind of wait a little. I mean, I wouldn't rush out and get it until the CDC and the FDA approve it, because both Moderna and Pfizer, It looks like they'll have the shot that covers Omicron built into it. They've been talking about the new design that will cover everything back, including the Omicron variants. And if you go out and get, I have friends of mine that went out a week or two ago and got the regular shot. And if Omicron shot comes out, they got to wait 6 months before they can get it. Otherwise, it's worthless. So.
Well, I would say they've already got the Omicron shot in the stores now.
Maybe.
I'm sure they replaced.
It hasn't been approved by the FDA or the CDC.
Oh, the Omicron hasn't been approved yet? Omicron's almost gone.
Well, but the variant that's coming back is Omicron version 2. They call it BA2. That's the one that's coming back here. Well, it's taken over Europe, and in the UK, it's the big thing. And the UK
it's all the rage, is what you're saying.
It was invented by Al Gore.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That area where the EU is and stuff, not EU, but in England, is got about 82% of the population is vaccinated, where we're still in the low 60s. So you can imagine if it comes back here.
It's okay, we'll kill those people off too.
That's right. They're all Republicans. Who cares?
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
I said the same thing.
Well, listen, the minute they okay it, I'm
Absolutely.
I'm up the street. I'm getting it.
I think we're all going to do that, Alex. I think that's a smart move.
I'll be on the list.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, I mean, I find now you can just walk into a pharmacy and they do it.
Sure.
So anyway, I'm still healing. I went to pick up a cup of coffee here with coffee in it, and it was killing me. But certain positions of the hand, it's fine.
Your
and
face
then
didn't get messed up.
my face here hurts though, and I think I fell on that too.
Oh.
Yeah, but
It's
I
hard
didn't
to
I
see.
didn't get a mark or a black and blue mark or anything like that. And then this, which was a big, problem here. You can't see it now, and the reason you can't is I'm wearing makeup, so to cover it.
Oh.
But I really
good at it.
I took a plots, man. That was a buster. That one, yeah. I really I don't want that to happen again.
It could be worse.
Oh, it could have been worse.
Could have been worse.
Well, I kept thinking about what's his name, who died in bed after what might have been a fall in his hotel room.
Oh, Bob Saget.
Bob Saget. And I kept thinking about that. And, that sometimes you don't know for days that something has happened inside your head
I think
or whatever.
it's minor, and you have a concussion, and you got
yeah.
bleeding on the brain, and
Yep.
you wake up dead.
You wake up dead. I didn't hear you woke up when you were
wake
dead.
up dead for a start.
Yeah, I gotta wake up.
It kind of worked.
Well, anyway, there's our theme starting to play. Another week.
Another week.
If you include Mondays, 4 shows this week. Thank you very much, Alan. We appreciate it. Josh, good to see you again tonight. And, of course, our old friend John Larkin. And then, of course, Ray, with that wonderful... Did you change the background? Is there a different...
Yeah.
There's a
I
different...
made it nighttime.
You made it nighttime, okay. and
I
hey,
guess it's nighttime outside.
I got to say that Tony Magno, it's always good to have you here, and Ray, Brian. Oh, there you are. You were still, and I thought maybe you were frozen. Brian, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We didn't have any special appearances tonight by certain.
Yeah, she's playing games, so.
Yeah, and of course Jeff. Wonderful talking with you tonight, too.
Yeah.
Everybody give yourself a big wave goodbye, and I'll give you a big wave goodbye, too, and say goodnight to y'all. Okay. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. I'm sorry the show was a little short for some of you who are watching this after the fact, but we had to sign off and sign back on again because I had some problems that I had happen here. We'll be back again on Monday at 4 o'clock on Facebook with our pop-up show, and then we'll be back again on next Wednesday at 10:30 Eastern Time. Same time, same station in life. In the meantime, stay tuned for Jack Bishop, who is next over the same GabNet. And also, by the way, I'll see you then. Same time, same station in life. In the meantime, if you see her, tell her I love her. Good night, everybody. Bye-bye.